Evangelism sounds like an intimidating word for most of us. It's one of the ones that we just leave it to the professionals. But what if evangelism wasn't as difficult as we make it out to be? My name is Gene Rodriguez. I have the great joy of serving the high school students out at our Temecula campus. I am fresh back from a mission trip down in Mexico where we were able to build a home for a family in need. And this trip blesses us as much as it blesses them. Let me give you a for instance. First year we make it out there and we are hard at work and we always finish the night around a campfire. And there's a couple of guys who stay back and we begin to really get to know one another. And the first day starts off really surface level. By the end of it, man, we're really digging into what's going on into our life. I really connected with one of the guys, and by the end of the week, he made the decision of, I just need to get to church. Like, I just have stayed away from it for so long because of a past experience. Like, I just want to get back in there. Now, fast forward to this year where I get to see that same individual again. I'm so excited to hear how was North Coast, man? How is going to church? How has that been for you? And so we got to connect and we got to pick up right where we left off. We're at a campfire, and right away as the days go by, I begin to see this pattern of him feeling like, man, I'm not good enough to be a Christian. But at the same time, I was able to say, hold on, you have shared your life, your faith journey with me, and I just want to do this for you. I just want to affirm the ways that I see you trusting in God. I mean, we're all sinners in need of a Savior, and I could see that in your life, and I see it in mine, but that doesn't disqualify us. I see you trusting in God in these areas, and so I want to confirm it with you. Do you see yourself trusting in God? And he's like, yeah, man, I guess so. I think that's what trusting in God looks like. And so I just encouraged him. I think it's time for commitment. He's like, I know I've said that prayer 1,000 times. And I said, well, what if that commitment looked like in the form of a baptism? We can be there to support this decision that you're doing and just celebrate this new journey that you're on. See, what allowed there to happen was so much of North Coast's DNA is that we believe that truth travels over the bridge of relationships. And so we got to build trust, and I was able to ask him, affirm, confirm, and get to that commitment to see if he's ready to surrender his life to Jesus. And so our first verse today is 2 Corinthians chapter 5. This is our what. What we are trying to do today is the thing that Paul is going to tell us to do, that he's going to implore us to get everyone to be reconciled to God. But I want to do something here differently. I want to see our how. How does this happen? So 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 19. Though I am free, I belong to no one. I have made myself a slave to everyone to win as many as possible. To the Jews, I became like a Jew to win the Jews. To those under the law, I became like one under the law, so as to win those under the law. To those not having the law, I became like one not having the law, so as to win those not having the law. To the weak, I became weak to win the weak. I become all things to all people, so that by all possible means I might save some. I do all this for the sake of the gospel, that I might share in its blessings. And so I just want to rip off of Paul's evangelist strategy here of, I think the first thing that we want to do is speak, but I think we need to listen. Listen to understand their culture, their circumstances, their condition that they are in, and try to understand where they are at. The second one is going to be ask good questions. We don't want to drag our feet in this. We want to see in our relationships where we have built trust, hey, how can we take this deeper? What can I ask to get them deeper? But the third one I think is the most important, is that we want to be flexible, but we don't want to compromise. I want to just repeat the words of Paul here. I've become all things to all people, so that by all possible means I might save some. I do all this for the sake of the gospel, that I might share in its blessing. We do this for the sake of the gospel. We do not compromise that. My question for you, dosers, how are your relationships bringing you closer to God? Thank you. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for joining us on the Daily Dose. We would love to be able to get you more content. Put in the comments below what other topics you'd like us to cover. Thanks for joining us. Remember, like and subscribe.